Goldie Hawn, the timeless beauty icon and brilliant talent of Hollywood, once hid many shocking secrets behind the sparkling halo. Few people know that she once signed a contract with Playboy magazine, but the negotiations that followed made even the boss Hugh Hefner confused. Hawn's career was once frozen just because she dared to refuse a sensitive relationship with a powerful director, whose identity is still a big question mark for the public. Who is the person in today's video? We will reveal the untold truths that you have never heard before. Don't forget to subscribe and like so we can be motivated to make better videos in the future.
I didn't know whether to wear something like this or whether to wear something less.
In the 1970s, the golden age of the liberation and feminism movement, Goldie Hawn was one of Hollywood's most sought-after pop culture icons. With her radiant smile, poetic beauty mixed with a bit of rebellion and graceful acting ability, she conquered millions of hearts across America. But few people expected that behind that brilliant image was a series of secret negotiations and stories that had never been told publicly. Nearly 45 years later, the world media was shocked when a series of internal documents from Playboy's secret archives were suddenly leaked, revealing a shocking truth: Goldie Hawn, the talent and beauty icon of Hollywood, had entered into an undisclosed agreement with Playboy, the controversial but powerful magazine at that time. According to these documents, in mid-1972, when Goldie Hawn was at the height of her fame after winning an Oscar for the film Cactus Flower, she suddenly became the target of an ambitious personal strategy by Hugh Hefner, the powerful founder of Playboy. At that time, Playboy was not just a porn magazine but also a cultural icon for modern men. Hefner realized that, to change the image and elevate the class of his brand, he needed a face that was both sexy and intelligent, and Goldie Hawn was the perfect choice. Although the initial plans were carried out discreetly and professionally, everything fell apart at the last minute. The reasons behind Goldie's sudden withdrawal from the campaign have remained a big question mark for many years. In a rare sharing, she once confided that she never felt really special or gorgeous, showing her modesty and a way of seeing herself that was far from the image the public had once assigned her. But it was that frankness and principles that made Goldie Hawn one of the most independent and proud icons of Hollywood at that time. Both famous and artistic, Goldie Hawn was not only attracted by her doll-like beauty and natural charm, but also by her independent spirit and sharp intellect, which made Hugh Hefner believe that she was the new symbol of the spirit of women's liberation that he wanted Playboy to represent. To conquer Hawn, Hefner made a bold offer, a salary of up to $500,000, a record at that time, along with a commitment to give her complete creative control, from choosing photographers to shooting locations. This was not simply a financial negotiation, but also a dual strategy. For Goldie Hawn, it was a test of personal boundaries and inner values. For Hugh Hefner, it was a big gamble to save the image of Playboy from the increasingly harsh criticism from the intellectuals and media of the time. The negotiations were kept secret for nearly half a century, until leaked documents revealed the truth. Goldie Hawn did not say no out of impulse, but out of sober judgment, a response that reflected professional courage, entertainment intelligence, and, most importantly, a clearly defined set of personal values. She knew what she wanted to create, what was right for her, and what crossed her personal moral boundaries. It was this choice, though silent, that helped cement Goldie's status as a role model for the modern woman, attractive but resilient, striking but still individual in a Hollywood full of temptations and pressures. Instead of immediately refusing as many expected, Goldie Hawn agreed to a lengthy private conversation with Playboy representatives, held in a luxurious villa in Beverly Hills. In the air filled with the smell of cigars, red wine, and melodious classical music, the meeting seemed like a concession, but Hawn stood her ground. She was not against women posing for sexy photos, as long as the action came from their own free will, not because of social pressure or imposition from men. An internal Playboy memo later revealed the deep critical nature of Hawn. Does doing this make women feel more powerful, or does it just make me a tool for the male gaze? Her question not only made those around her pause, but also showed that this was not a star who could be easily conquered by fame or money. Despite her willingness to cooperate, Goldie Hawn made a landmark condition. She demanded that the entire shoot, from concept to photographer, be done by a female photographer. This was unprecedented at Playboy, and it was also the point at which negotiations reached a stalemate. Behind this seemingly simple request was a strong moral position and a clear feminist perspective. Goldie did not seek to deny beauty or sexiness, but she fought to put the power to define and control them in the hands of women. In this way, her condition was not only an affirmation of personal identity, but also a quiet but powerful message about women's autonomy and dignity in an industry dominated by the male gaze. For Goldie Hawn, nothing, not fame, not opportunity, not money, could come at the expense of her personal values and autonomy. During the negotiations with Playboy, the rift was not over finances but over irreconcilable principles. One of Hawn's preconditions was that she would not pose fully nude. While Goldie was not opposed to showing off her sexuality, she was only willing to do so within the parameters that made her feel comfortable and respected. Hugh Hefner, who was known for his tight control over the content of his magazine, is said to have agreed to this condition, at least nominally. However, a leaked internal Playboy memo from 1973 later revealed that the editors were secretly hoping to get Goldie to open up during the shoot, a tactic Playboy had used with many models before. But for Hawn, this backfired. She accidentally discovered the plot through a friend who was working on the production team and was deeply hurt. The feeling of betrayal caused Goldie to immediately withdraw from the project, a decisive decision that showed her courage in defending her principles. More than a failed negotiation, this was a clear demonstration of Goldie Hawn's uncompromising stance against manipulation, even under the glitz of fame. This incident not only marked a quiet milestone in the journey to preserve the dignity of a star, but also reinforced her image as a woman who knew her own worth, not letting anyone, including powerful bosses, determine her boundaries. Although the official contract between Goldie Hawn and Playboy was never signed, she agreed to a number of terms in writing, putting both parties in a complicated legal bind. In the end, the agreement was quietly canceled. The project was closed in silence. However, its echoes have never completely disappeared. For decades afterward, rumors of Goldie Hawn's rejection of Playboy lingered in the entertainment world, whispers of a star who was not easily swayed by the allure of fame or the pressures of power. But Goldie Hawn's biggest career challenge was not to end there. In the late 1970s, at the height of her fame thanks to hits like Shampoo, 1975, and Foul Play, 1978, Goldie entered a dark period when her career suddenly slowed down. The reason, according to many reliable sources, was her brave refusal to accept a behind-the-scenes relationship with a famous director who was considered the most powerful man in Hollywood at the time. The meeting took place over a private dinner, and although the director was known for his politeness, he hinted that in order to get the leading lady role he had tailored for Hawn, a role that was deep, emotional, and completely broke the innocent doll image that the public had attached to her, Goldie needed to commit on many levels. Her frank refusal to allow any intimacy outside of work had chilled the evening dramatically. A few days later, Goldie Hawn's name disappeared from the cast without any explanation, only a vague announcement that we are looking for a new direction for the role. Hollywood, more than anyone, knew what was really happening. And the price of rejection, however justified, was months of frozen silence. Goldie suddenly became a name that made many projects hesitate, leading female roles gradually disappeared, and in internal meetings, she was labeled difficult to work with, too outspoken, or inflexible, stereotypes often attributed to women who dared to take a stand in an industry dominated by men behind the scenes. In a system where women were expected to be tameable and submissive, maintaining principles and self-respect became a source of concern. But Goldie Hawn did not choose to be silent or humble. Instead of continuing to rely on the roles given to her by powerful directors, she decided to create her own opportunities. In 1980, Goldie debuted in Private Benjamin, a film she co-produced and starred in. The film was not only a huge commercial success, grossing over $60 million, but also earned her an Oscar nomination for Best Actress. This was a resounding, unspoken but extremely clear answer to those who had underestimated her talent and dignity. The incident with the director was never mentioned publicly by Goldie. But in an interview many years later, when asked if she had ever lost a career opportunity because of refusing a sensitive relationship, Goldie calmly replied, "There are times when you have to choose between your career and your self-esteem. I always choose the latter. Because if I lost it, what would I be proud of when I looked in the mirror?" That answer not only demonstrated the courage and qualities of a true female artist, but also reflected the bitter reality that many women in the film industry have, and still are, facing. But at the same time, it is also a powerful inspiration. A woman can be stopped, but not extinguished, as long as she dares to stand up for herself. Goldie Hawn's story is a testament to that, a star who shines not only with her beauty or talent, but also with her determination and loyalty to her own values in a world full of discrimination and calculation. Thank you for subscribing. Please join us in the next videos. Thank you and see you again.